sometimes in these with podcasts, I try to give our listeners the chance to who did you apply via to go to Newton, because there are a lot of teachers that want to move abroad. So
Sure.
Was it an agency you used, or was it direct? Was it on TES application? Who did you go through?
Well, actually, and it's quite a coincidence and an interest that you should ask me this, because I applied actually a year or so before at a school in Saudi via Times Ed, and I had an interview at the British School of in Al-Khobar.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and I went to London for the interview. The process was such that you apply for the job, they invite you to London, you go down there for the weekend, and then you find out a week or so later. And I didn't get the job, but the person who interviewed me said, you're a very good candidate and you will get a job. And I was at a kind of crossroads in my career, I suppose. When I left the UK, I was working at a free school in the UK, British Islamic free school in Derby, one of the first that was set up.
Okay, yeah, I know that school. I think I applied as well at the time, but I wasn't successful.
Al Madina
Yes.
School, and I got the job as head of department for computing and ICT. Now I worked there for about 8 months, and then unfortunately they had a lot of issues in the media, whereby the Daily Mail basically kind of wrote some negative stuff about some of the members of staff, and then it was like a witch hunt, really, unfortunately. And Ofsted ended up closing the school, the secondary side of the school, and then they reopened as Olive Academy, and they're still around now, actually, at the moment, as a primary school, doing really well, mashallah.
I think so. Olive Academy has grown across the UK, and they have various different primary schools in the in the country.
They do
in that sense. So
going back to your question, I ended up getting the job through a friend of mine who I used to work with in Huddersfield in 2005 to 2008, a guy called Yasser Ahmed. And he messaged me on WhatsApp, I think it was, or through email at the time, and he said, look, Khurram, there's a job here. The current teacher, she's on maternity leave. Do you want to come and work out here in Qatar? And initially I was a bit reluctant, because I'm like, oh, but equally at the same time, because my job was being made redundant in Derby, because the school was going from an all through to just a primary school, I was kind of reluctant to go and work in supply. And then I made the decision with my family to go and move to Qatar